I 27M, never thought I'd be writing this, but I need to get this off my chest. Been with my fiancé Amy, 27F, for 9 years, since we were both freshmen in college. You know those relationships where everything just feels right? That was us, or at least I thought it was. We met at this stupid campus event. I was helping set up chairs.
Yeah.
I was that guy who actually volunteered for stuff, and she was there with her friend group. She was shy back then, kind of kept to herself, but we got talking about random stuff and just clicked. Started dating a few weeks later. What drew me to Amy the most back then wasn't just how pretty she was, it was how genuinely kind and humble she was. She wasn't flashy, didn't care about expensive things, and always talked about wanting a simple, happy life. She'd rather stay in and watch movies than go out partying. She got excited over small things, finding a new coffee shop, getting a good deal on groceries, or even just spotting a cute dog on the street. She had this way of making normal, boring moments feel special. Man, she used to be so sweet. The kind of person who'd write little notes for me if she left early, surprise me with my favorite snacks, or send a random, thinking of you, text just because. Things were great for years, like, genuinely great. We moved in together after graduation, got decent jobs, had this whole future planned out. I proposed 2 years ago, nothing fancy, just a nice dinner at home, and then I got down on one knee. She cried, I cried, it was perfect. That's when everything started changing, but I was too dumb to see it coming. Right after the proposal, Amy said she wanted to wait to set a wedding date until she reached her goal, said she wanted to look perfect in the wedding photos. Made sense to me, everyone wants to look good on their big day, right? I had her back 100%, got her workout gear, stocked the house with healthy food, and listened to all the talk about calories, macros, and whatever else. Even gave some of her workouts a shot, but they weren't really my thing. I'm more of a powerlifting guy, built for strength not endurance, got that strongman physique going on. Never used to be a problem, in fact, she loved it, always said she felt safe when I hugged her. She started going to this fancy gym downtown, that's where she met Jen, her new trainer. At first, Jen seemed cool, really motivated, always posting inspiring stuff on social media. Amy would come home from sessions with her all excited about reaching new goals. I was happy for her, the weight started coming off pretty fast, like noticeably fast. Amy was working really hard, I'll give her that. But with every pound she lost, she seemed to get different. More distant. Started spending more and more time at the gym, always texting with Jen about workout plans and meal prep. Then the comments started, little ones at first, like, maybe you should try eating what I'm eating, or, Jen says couples who work out together stay together. I tried not to let it bother me, but they kept coming, getting more frequent, more pointed. One night we were getting ready for bed, and Amy was checking herself out in the mirror, by then she'd lost about 50 pounds. Then, without even looking at me, she goes, you know, guys at the gym have started noticing me. Said it super casual, like she was commenting on the weather. I laughed it off, tried to make a joke, but something about the way she said it made my stomach twist. I still remember exactly what she said next, it's crazy how many options there are once you get in shape. Options. That word stuck in my head like I was just one option among many now. Started noticing other changes too. Her Instagram posts got more attention-seeking, I guess, lots of gym selfies, progress pics, that kind of thing. The comment section was always full of random guys leaving fire emojis and worse. She said it was just part of building her brand, whatever that means. Our regular date nights turned into her taking pictures of everything for social media, couldn't just enjoy a meal anymore, had to get the perfect angle, the perfect lighting. Sometimes the food would be cold by the time she finished taking pictures. Looking back now, I can see all the warning signs. How she started dressing different, not just because of the weight loss, but like, provocative. Started wearing crop tops to family dinners, that kind of thing. I kept telling myself it was just a phase, that she was just excited about her progress. People get like that when they're working towards a goal, right? Get a little obsessed, a little focused on themselves. It'll pass, I thought. But the changes in Amy just kept getting more obvious. By month 8 of her fitness journey, that's what she called it on social media, she'd lost over 100 pounds, and honestly, she looked incredible, like, straight up model level gorgeous. Not going to lie about that. But her personality, that changed way more than her body did. Remember that trainer Jen I mentioned? Turns out she wasn't just a trainer, she was running this whole women's empowerment thing at the gym. Sounds good, right? Except her version of empowerment was basically telling girls they needed to level up and find better guys. Amy started repeating all these weird phrases Jen would say, like know your worth and never settle. So I noticed how Amy started critiquing everything about me. She never did that before. My clothes, you dress like a dad, my workouts, powerlifting is going to make you fat, even the way I eat, no one needs that much protein. It was constant, every day some new comment about how I needed to change. The worst part? She'd do it in front of people, like when her gym friends came over for dinner, yeah, that was a thing now. Every meal had to be Instagram worthy. She'd make these jokes about how I was letting myself go while she was glowing up. Her friends would laugh, and I'd just sit there feeling like garbage. Started noticing weird stuff on her phone too. She'd get all these DMs from random guys, which she said was just a networking. Changed her phone password, started taking her phone with her everywhere, even to shower. Real subtle, right? One day I was doing laundry and found this tiny gym outfit in her bag, way smaller than what she usually wears to work out. Asked her about it, and she got super defensive, said it was for a special project with Jen. Didn't think much of it at the time. Wish I had. Things got worse at the gym too. She'd spend hours there, way longer than any normal workout should take. Always had some excuse, extra cardio, posing practice, whatever that is, meetings with Jen about business opportunities. Started going on weekends too, even though we used to have this rule about weekends being our time together. The social media stuff was getting out of control. Every post had to be perfect. She'd make me take like 50 pictures of her in different poses, then complain that none of them were good enough. Started posting these motivational captions about not letting anyone hold you back and reaching your full potential. Pretty sure those were aimed at me. I also noticed she wasn't wearing her engagement ring anymore. At first, I thought maybe she took it off for the gym, but then I realized she wasn't wearing it anywhere anymore. I asked her about it one day, and she just shrugged. Doesn't really match my gym aesthetic, she said, barely looking up from her phone. I tried to laugh it off. Oh, so your aesthetic is single now? She just smirked, something like that. And that hit different. I didn't say anything, but deep down, something twisted in my gut. It was like she'd already decided she was halfway out the door, just waiting for the right moment to leave. But the final straw for me happened one morning. I was in the kitchen, flipping protein pancakes, because trying to be supportive of her diet, when Amy casually says, I could replace you so easily now. Just straight up, like she was commenting on the weather, like she was telling me we needed more eggs or something. I froze mid-flip, spatula in hand, brain struggling to process if I actually heard that right. I felt it's too much, she literally crossed the line. I turned to her, trying to keep my voice even. What do you mean by that? She just laughed, waving a hand like it was some kind of joke. Oh come on, don't get all serious. I just mean I have options now. Options? I repeated, setting the spatula down. Since when was this a job listing? Amy smirked, grabbing her coffee. Relax, I just mean things are different now. Like this guy Mark at the gym, he's a personal trainer and runs his own business. That's the kind of ambition I need in my life. I just blinked at her, waiting for her to crack and admit this was some kind of weird joke. But she didn't, just sat there, totally unbothered, like she hadn't just told me to my face that I was suddenly not enough for her. Ambition? Amy, we bought a house together last year. I'm literally a software engineer. I do pretty well for us. She shrugged, sipping her coffee like this wasn't completely insane. Yeah, but I don't know, it's different. Mark has that hustle, That drive. That was the moment something shifted, something I couldn't quite put my finger on yet, but I knew this wasn't just a joke. It was freaking disrespect. Then my friends started noticing something was up. My buddy Tom tried to talk to me about it, said Amy was acting different at group hangouts, said she was flirting with guys right in front of me. I defended her, tried to brush their doubts off, said she was just being friendly. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Even my mom started asking questions. You know it's bad when your mom notices, right? She came over for Sunday dinner, another tradition Amy suddenly didn't have time for, and Amy spent the whole time on her phone, barely said 2 words to anyone. Then out of nowhere, Amy's sister Sarah, 25F, texted me one morning, asking if we could meet up, said it was important. Sarah and I always got along pretty well. She's younger than Amy but way more down to earth. We met at this little coffee shop near my work. Sarah looked really nervous, kept fidgeting with her cup. Finally, she just comes out with it. Sarah works in IT and knows her way around computers. She'd noticed Amy had been making weird excuses about money lately, saying she needed extra cash for gym equipment and special training sessions. Sarah did some digging and found something way worse, Amy's secret OnlyFans account. Not just random gym pics either, like really explicit stuff. And get this, she was using our house, for some of these photos. That weird gym outfit I found? Yeah, not for the gym. And that trainer Jen? She's got this whole side business going, gets girls from the gym to start OnlyFans accounts, then takes a cut of their earnings. She sells it to them as female empowerment and taking control of their sexuality, or whatever. Amy had fallen for it completely. I sat there in that coffee shop, just staring at my cup while Sarah showed me more, mostly gym pics, but with these suggestive captions about private coaching sessions and stuff. The account had been up for months, started right around when she changed her phone password. The worst part? In her bio, Amy wrote she was single. Just straight up erased our whole relationship, 9 years together, 2 years engaged, and I'm just gone, like I never existed. Sarah had screenshots of Amy's private Instagram messages, hundreds of conversations with random guys, lots of them married dudes, some even had kids. She was selling them, special custom content, if you know what I mean. All those times she was on her phone during family dinners? Yeah, now I knew what that was about. Got back to work after that but couldn't focus at all. That night, I didn't go home, I couldn't. Just the thought of seeing her, acting normal like she hadn't completely shattered everything we built, made me sick. I crashed at my buddy Tom's place, lying awake, trying to process everything Sarah sent me. And that's where I am now. Sarah keeps checking in, making sure I'm not spiraling, but honestly, I'm too numb to even respond much. I've got all the evidence, and I'm planning my next move. I'll update when there's more to tell. Update 1, first of all, thanks for your overwhelming support. The amount of messages and advice I've received is incredible. I promised to update when things developed, and a lot has happened in the past week. Since finding out about Amy's secret life through Sarah, I've been staying at Tom's place while carefully planning my next move. What started as a personal betrayal has turned into something much bigger than I initially thought. Through Sarah's IT expertise, we discovered something shocking. Jen wasn't just running a small operation at one gym. She had an entire network of trainer-influencer partnerships across several gyms in our area. They were preparing to launch what they called a fitness empowerment platform next month, with Amy as one of their main success stories. The launch event was going to be huge, 5 major supplement companies as sponsors, 3 fitness apparel brands, and even a wellness cryptocurrency ready to announce partnerships. Amy was set to be their star transformation story, complete with before and after photos and inspirational speeches about taking control of your life. Sarah and I spent the week documenting everything. Every transaction, every message, every contract between Amy, Jen, and their partners. While most of it was technically legal, it was incredibly deceptive. They were selling the image of fitness empowerment while running what essentially amounted to a recruitment scheme for adult content creators. The really disturbing part? They had a whole system for targeting married men as premium subscribers. Amy wasn't just making content, she was actively engaging with these guys, many of whom had families. She'd send them personalized messages, making them think they had a special connection, all while knowing exactly what she was doing. We compiled everything into a detailed report. Not just the obvious stuff, but all the predatory business practices, the misleading marketing, the fake engagement metrics they were showing potential sponsors. Every claim was backed up with screenshots, transaction records, and testimonials from other girls who'd been burned by Jen's empowerment and scheme. Yesterday morning, I sent this package to every sponsor. Not to their PR departments, straight to their legal teams. I included examples of how their brands would be associated with what was essentially a front for adult content creation. The response was immediate. Within hours, the first sponsor pulled out. By nightfall, they all had. The cryptocurrency partner was particularly upset. Apparently, they're trying to build a family-friendly image in the wellness space. The fitness apparel brands? They took one look at how their products were being used in Amy's premium content and ran for the hills. The best part? Jen threw Amy under the bus immediately. She sent out a mass email to everyone involved, claiming she had no knowledge of Amy's private activities and was deeply shocked and disappointed. Guess women's empowerment only goes so far when money's on the line. Amy's been trying to damage control all day. She's called me 20 times, left voicemails ranging from tears to threats. According to Sarah, she's telling everyone I'm trying to ruin her career out of jealousy. But here's the thing, I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't hack anything or expose any private information. I just made sure the right people knew exactly what they were getting involved with. The fitness community is surprisingly tight-knit, and word spreads fast. By this evening, Amy's follower count had dropped by thousands. Other fitness influencers are quietly unfollowing her, removing any collaborative content they had together. Her brand is imploding in real time. I'm back at our house now, technically mine since I'm the only one on the mortgage. Changed the locks, blocked her on everything. Tom and Sarah have been incredible through all this. Sarah especially, she's dealing with family fallout too, but she hasn't wavered in her support. The launch event is still scheduled for next week. Amy and Jen are scrambling to find new sponsors, but nobody's touching this with a 10-foot pole. I hear they're trying to spin it as a private, exclusive event now that all the big names have pulled out. I know this might seem harsh to some people, but here's the thing, I didn't create this situation. I just made sure everyone involved knew what they were really dealing with. Sometimes the truth is all the revenge you need. We'll update again after the event. Something tells me it's going to be interesting. Update 2, the launch event happened yesterday, and wow, I need to share how everything went down. Remember how I mentioned they were trying to rebrand it as a private, exclusive event? Well, it turned into a complete disaster. First off, only about 20 people showed up to an event planned for hundreds. The venue, this fancy downtown hotel ballroom, looked absolutely empty. Most of the attendees were Jen's current clients who felt obligated to show up, and even they started leaving early. The cryptocurrency partner, who was supposed to be their last remaining big sponsor, pulled out live during the event. Their team was monitoring social media and saw what was happening in real time. Right in the middle of Jen's opening speech, their logo disappeared from the presentation screen. Someone just straight up remote accessed the slides and deleted it. Amy tried to salvage things with this speech about overcoming negativity and staying strong in the face of haters. But halfway through, people in the audience started getting notifications. Turns out several of her former subscribers, guys she'd been stringing along, had started sharing screenshots of their conversations with her. These weren't just random guys either. One was a local business owner, another was a well-known real estate agent. Their wives found out through all this. The whole empowerment platform idea completely fell apart when someone, not me, shared the actual contract they were giving to new recruits. It showed that Jen would get 40% of all earnings, while also charging these women for exclusive training sessions and brand development packages. Some of the girls who'd already signed up started speaking out about how much debt they'd gotten into. The fitness community's reaction has been fascinating. Several legitimate female fitness influencers have come forward with stories about how Jen tried to recruit them into this scheme. One popular trainer posted a video breaking down how the entire transformation program was basically designed to get vulnerable women into compromising positions, financially and otherwise. Amy's attempt to play victim backfired spectacularly. She posted this long Instagram story about being attacked by jealous people who don't understand female entrepreneurship. Within minutes, multiple women responded with receipts, screenshots showing how Amy had tried to recruit them, promising easy money, while hiding the real nature of the content they'd be expected to produce. The local fitness scene has completely blacklisted both of them. 3 other gyms in the area have put out statements distancing themselves from Jen's training methodology. Amy's certification program, yes, she was supposedly starting one, has been completely scrapped. What's really interesting is how this affected their wider network. Remember those other trainer-influencer partnerships I mentioned? They're all scrambling to rebrand. Several have quietly deleted their social media accounts. The whole house of cards is collapsing. Sarah told me that Amy showed up at their parents' house last night after the event. Their dad, who's always been this really respected guy in the community, had to deal with people at his church asking about his daughter's internet business. Amy tried to explain it away as fitness modeling, but someone had already shown him the real content. He was devastated. The financial fallout is hitting them hard too. Turns out Jen had convinced Amy to invest a lot of money in their platform, money that came from maxing out credit cards and taking out personal loans. All those designer outfits and business expenses weren't just draining her savings, she's in serious debt. Some of Amy's former gym friends reached out to me, apologizing for enabling her behavior. One admitted they all knew about the OnlyFans stuff but thought it was empowering. Now they're worried about their own reputations by association. I'm still getting messages from people sharing stories about Amy and Jen's schemes. Each one confirms that walking away was the right decision. Tom keeps saying I dodged a bullet. Sarah says it's more like I dodged a nuclear missile. Speaking of Sarah, she's been amazing through all this. While Amy's been having her public meltdown, Sarah's been helping me get my life back in order. It's nice having someone around who remembers who Amy used to be, but supports who I need to be now. We'll post one final update soon. There are some unexpected developments I'm still processing. Update 3, I've been waiting to make this final update because I wanted to be sure about some things. It's been 3 months since the platform launched disaster, and life has taken some unexpected turns, mostly good ones. First, let me address what happened with Amy. After her social media empire collapsed, she tried to rebuild her presence on different platforms, but her reputation followed her everywhere. She attempted to rebrand as a wellness coach, but potential clients kept finding the old stories. It's interesting how the internet never really forgets. Jen completely cut ties with her. Last I heard, Jen moved to another state after several women filed complaints about her business practices. She's apparently trying to start over in Florida, but her previous clients have been warning fitness communities there too. Amy's living situation has been unstable. After her parents found out the full extent of everything, they gave her an ultimatum: get professional help or find somewhere else to live. She chose the latter. She's been couch surfing between what few friends she has left, but most people won't keep her around for long. Her fitness influencer friends disappeared pretty quickly once they realized she couldn't help their careers anymore. The financial fallout hit her hard. Those credit cards she maxed out for business expenses? The minimum payments alone are more than she can handle. She tried to find a regular job, but her online history makes that complicated. Turns out when you post certain kinds of content, it really limits your professional options. But here's where things get interesting, and honestly, a bit complicated. Remember how I mentioned Sarah had been helping me through all this? Well, something unexpected happened. We started spending more time together, not just dealing with the Amy situation, but actually hanging out. At first, it was just coffee to discuss family stuff, then dinner to take our minds off everything, then movies because we both needed the distraction. Months passed, and what started as mutual support slowly turned into something else. There was no rush, no pressure, just two people who'd been through hell together figuring out what life looked like on the other side. Sarah's nothing like Amy, she's real, you know? No fake social media personality, no constant selfies, no trying to impress anyone. She laughs at my dumb jokes, actually wants to hear about my work, and doesn't care that I'm not some Instagram perfect guy. We talked about it for weeks before anything happened. Both of us were worried about making things weird, about what people would say. Had a lot of long conversations about whether this was okay, or if we were just trauma bonding. Finally, Sarah said something that really hit home: Amy's going to hate us no matter what we do. We might as well be happy. When Amy found out through their cousin's Instagram that we were dating, she completely lost it. Started texting everyone in the family about how we were secretly together the whole time and how we planned this from the beginning. Sarah's parents actually defended us. Her dad told Amy, maybe if you hadn't treated them both so badly, this wouldn't have happened. Amy blocked them all after that. It's been 2 months now. Sarah moved in last week, we took it slow, did it right. She actually helps with the housework, unlike Amy who just took pictures of herself doing it for Instagram. We cook together, go hiking on weekends, normal stuff. Real life, you know? Amy still tries to cause drama sometimes. She made this whole Instagram post about how some people will betray you in the worst ways, with a bunch of snake emojis. Sarah just laughed and said, guess she finally looked in a mirror. That's what I love about Sarah, she doesn't let this stuff get to her. She's confident in who she is without needing thousands of followers to validate her. We're planning a camping trip next month, just us, some tents, no phones, no social media. Real life. Sometimes I think about how weird it is that Amy's betrayal led me to someone so much better. Sarah says maybe we needed Amy to show us what we didn't want in life so we could appreciate what we do want. So, yeah, that's the end of my story. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. You guys helped me get through some really rough days, and I'm grateful. Life has a funny way of working out sometimes. The worst things can lead you to the best places, you just have to be brave enough to keep moving forward. For anyone going through something similar, it gets better. Trust me. Sometimes losing someone toxic is the first step to finding something real.